Hi, everybody, and welcome to another session, another interview by the format hosted by the JCI European Senate. Let's Talk Business. Tonight, we have our guest, Jef Hendrickx, who is very experienced JCI member and also international health advisor. Welcome, Jef.
Good to
Hello.
be here.
So, Jef, can you please present shortly a little bit a little bit about yourself? You have a huge CV and a lot of experience, and we are eager to know more about you. But please be short at the beginning.
Okay, my name is Jef Hendrickx. I graduated from JCI back in 2016, and over a course of about 10 years, I had the opportunity to serve the organization as a local president, regional president, national president, international vice president, and executive vice president in 2016 under the leadership of President Pascal. And afterwards, I assisted the organization as a member of the audit committee, basically in 2019, 2020.
So when did your career started? I think it's JCI career. It was like 10, 11 years ago from now.
No. It started back in 2009.
Okay, so it's, yeah.
That's when um, another JCI vice president who was a member of my chapter introduced me and said, "Hey, JCI, why don't you join? It might be interesting for you." And who would have thought back then that I basically would end up almost copying the path that Stephen, who's now the local mayor, um, took. And then I got the opportunity to serve also on the executive committee afterwards. So it was really exciting. It was tough at times because I've been on boards for I think 9 years in a row. On consecutive years, I was on a member of a board on a local level, on a regional level, on a national level, on the international level. But I learned so much. I mean, it was from experience point, it was priceless.
So what was your first position and your last one that you have been engaged with in JCI?
The first, I was a local board member in my own chapter in
Okay.
Hasselt in Belgium. And the last one was being the executive vice president for Europe in the team of President Pascal.
That's exciting. And I think you've traveled quite a lot. So, Kaija, can you please relate to another question that would put more perspective on his international JCI career?
Yes, and the question is combining to business because you have had very busy, I would say, JCI experience and years. Did you
Yes.
manage or did you combine them also with your business career already then? I mean, like advisors, or what was your business part while you were so busy in JCI?
I always had um, the opportunity to be very flexible, and I've been basically switching and growing in my career professionally at the same time I was growing on the JCI level. So it's been going really hand in hand, um, getting more experience, getting more responsibilities, and it basically it grew. Um, and that's the only thing. The difference with my JCI career is that my professional career just continued growing after I retired from JCI. But I managed to do it hand in hand. But I could not have done that without the enormous support of my wife. Um, Behind every great man, there's a great woman. I'm not pretending to be a great man, but I know that I have a great wife, without whom I never could achieve what I've achieved so far.
Wow, that's quite a revelation here. It's quite important. Okay,
Yeah,
like
it is.
you I mean, we've done a preset questions about the focus areas of your interest before we're doing the interview now, and you've mentioned an outline one of those to be like healthcare, economics, governance, and international politics combining with art. And here comes the question: when it comes to art, what I would say direction of art you like? I mean, painting, sculptures, music, something else that you might tell us about, and how you relate it to the other ones, the governance, the finance, the admin, the business, everything, the rest. How do you find the correlation between those?
Um, what I like in art is mainly paintings and furniture. I like well-designed furniture. Um, I wouldn't call it a fetish, but it's getting close. Um, no, I really like beautiful chairs, beautiful tables, nice cupboards, because it's really setting the tone for the environment. Um, and of course, I would like to have, and of course, I would like to have great paintings on my walls. But unfortunately, the ones I really like are also very, very expensive. So I have to settle with other things. The reason why I also keep my focus on art is because it relaxes me. If just looking at design, looking at um, beautiful images. What I really like about art is it relaxes me. It creates an atmosphere of peace, of calm. Um, I was about 2 months ago um, in a museum in Antwerp, and you know the work from Dali, the girl who's rope skipping.
I don't know
I,
it.
I, I it's a very nice painting. It's and I only saw it in books and online, and then you stand in front of the painting, and then although I knew it was big, but it's like 4 by 5.
Wow, that's a
Um,
lot.
Maybe not 4 by 5, but in my mind it is 4 by 5. And then you look at and the detail, it is incredible. And then you look in and said, wow. And then you can see it a lot online and in books, but unless you see the painting yourself, then you understand why people pay so much money for it, because it's really yeah, it's incredible. And that's what I like about art. It's something completely different from what I do on a day-to-day basis, and that makes it for me like, okay, I can really enjoy that.
So that's mean that art still is for your soul.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, if um in an ideal world where I don't need to worry about money and I could buy whatever piece of art, then that could be my day, how I spend my days traveling around the world, finding beautiful pieces of art and collecting them. That, I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? Um, I would definitely.
I'm sure that art collectors are definitely with you on that. And I'm sure that you put a really nice perspective again, like, because with most of our guests so far, we are discussing this topic of how you relax off your time, hands-on experiences, for example, with our previous guest, or things for the soul, for the mind, for the aesthetics around us that you now share and that are bringing up an equilibrium in our work. I
Yeah.
mean, our human life's work, I mean. So that's, and you also mentioned here that you like golf, that you like to play golf. Have you participated in some of the JCI Senators golf courses or tournaments?
No, because um, I don't play enough. That's my biggest problem. As you see, art is one of my passions. As you see in the background, books.
Yeah.
I like books because this is just a small set of the number of books. These are the ones I use professionally. Also I've got a lot of other books as well. So it's dividing my time between my family and my children, um, art, playing golf, reading books. And so there's not a lot of time left for playing golf. So I never, until now, I never got to the stage where I can say, oh, I'm good
I'm
at
good
golf.
enough.
I like it, but I'm not good at it. Let's put it at that.
So you
And
still have
maybe
time.
in the near future, I find some more time to get better at it. I'm not pretending that I will be good at it, but maybe I can get better at it.
But okay, if not golf with JCI senators, what is the event where you have attended during JCI years? What was most like fun? No, not fun. I forgot the name.
Um, oh, I
The
had.
best, let's say, what you can mention, what you remember.
Oh, I remember plenty of them. Um, what I really enjoyed, um, because the last 3 4 years of my career, um, I spent a lot of basically managing the organization. And what I really enjoyed were the member events. And I only the last JCI event I went to was last year, the national convention we had in Belgium, and it felt no, actually that's not true. I was at the European conference in Bruges. How could I forget? It's not that
You've
long
been to
ago.
another museum and you forgot what real life is about.
No, but the thing about it is, as I said, I retired about 6 years ago. And at that time, I knew a lot of people. And now just walking around, um, hardly being recognized, it's such a great feeling. And seeing everybody enjoying themselves and not being obliged to talk to everybody because that's what expected of you. I mean, that is the greatest moment. And just seeing
I can imagine.
members
Yes.
just enjoying themselves, um, that I like the most.
Maybe some of the people that will watch this interview will be at the moment just before where you've been and will be willing to be the famous, the talkative, the greeting, all around like the core of the audience. But once you reach this peak, it is exactly as it is as you tell us now. I mean, you want to have it off to relax of this pressure, to talk to everybody, etc. So it's really interesting how in JCI peaks and lows are rotating.
Yeah, but it's the strange thing is the moment you are on stage, you start to realize it's not about being on stage. It's about the people in front of you. And of course, everybody tells you that in advance, but when you're in the process of leading the organization, then you tend to forget sometimes what it's all about. And it's not about giving a great speech. It's about enabling those members to make a difference, for those members to grow. And that's what it's all about. It's not about me, it's about them.
True. Very, very true. Very, very true. And yeah, it's
from this experience, can you name 2 or 3 values from JCI what you took to business?
Uh, what best service to humanity is the best work of life. That is what it is all about in the end. And that's also what I now experience in healthcare. That's why I love to work in healthcare, because I know that my contribution will make a difference for people. And of course, it's a business. Of course, it's also about me making a living. But being able to make a living and to facilitate better healthcare for people, that's just, for me, that's the max. That's really what that's the purpose.
So to see the positive result.
Yeah, I mean that's really what I focus on. It's about every single day. How do I create a positive impact? And it's yeah. If you're working in healthcare, if you're working in an industry that is basically paid by the people, because no matter which system you're in, it's the people that pay for healthcare. So it's in one way or another, it's a kind of public money. Even if it's private, somebody's paying for it. So you have to create the value, and you know that if by creating value, you are actually helping people. And those are the things that I basically took away from JCI. That's and that's basically my purpose in life.
It's very good that you stay aligned with that. It's very, very good. When you travel now,
Yeah.
do you still meet with the friends you made in JCI, or it's not that much often that it happens?
Not enough, but it also I traveled a lot for JCI, before JCI, and these days I really try to make it as compact as possible. That means that I fly in at the latest moment, I fly out at the first moment, because that is if I stay longer, it's time away from my family. And yeah, that is my children are there. The youngest is 7, the oldest is 14. So I don't want to. I find it very hard to enjoy myself with friends from JCI while my wife needs to take care of the kids at home. So it's really about finding the balance. And no, I can't spend enough time with people from JCI when traveling, because it's yeah, it's a zero-sum game. My time is limited. I only have 24 hours in a day. So if you find a solution for that, let me know.
What I hear here is something that I am a fan of, and it's the ability to know where to put a limit and how to prioritize certain things, certain priorities at certain moment in life, and when to say no also to certain things without the meaning that those should imply a negative effect. And you said it very good, and I'm happy to hear this from an experienced JCI member as you, that at some point you give a priority to something, but at another moment in life you're another person, and your priorities have switched. And
That's
if
right.
other JCI members have experienced that or are about to do that, they might be willing to talk to you, not meet you, but probably drop you a line, discuss or whatever. But it's very interesting perspective, and thank you for doing that.
Yeah, and it is not easy. I mean, I always, and that's one of the things that I really insisted on, and that was, um, it sounds easy, but it isn't. Is I've taken my children and my wife um, almost to every conference and congress that I've been to, if it was possible. So if they didn't have to go to school, I took them with me, because um, I traveled a lot, but I also wanted my children to see what I was doing. So my children have, although the oldest one is 14, he's been to at least 2 world congresses and 2 European conferences, and I think he did like 5 or 6 national conventions.
Wow.
But that was important for me, because then they know what I was doing, and it's about transferring what your passion is to the ones you care about, because you cannot expect somebody to understand why you devote a lot of your time to a non-profit organization if they don't know what it's all about.
It's
And I've
amazing.
tried to do that.
I can just admire what you are saying, because knowing that if being so active and taking positions, especially international level, so you manage to balance also with family, and a part of that business also was there somewhere. It's amazing.
Yes, it's truly amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it was balanced. You should check with my wife. She might have a
But
different opinion on the balanced part.
but still, you were taking the family with you. That's a
Yeah.
lot.
I mean,
That's a lot.
yeah, guys, right. Like this is very like many people. I mean, if there are people outside of the JCI network watching this interview, they should know that, as you've said, Jeff, this is a non-profit organization, and it's predominantly based on volunteer work. No matter we like you, Kai, or me, were people with like our work, businesses, or whatever. We still take our extra time that we have, as you said, limited to do stuff. And Kai is right. Like this is a huge topic. But yeah, I think that you outlined it very, very good.
And
Kai, you have
and
another
that's also
question? Or sorry. Yes, please.
and it's all for me. It's also very important to do that because um, a lot of people think, especially if you talk on the international level, if you have a family, you can't do those kind of things. You can. It's not easy. Uh, it will take effort to get things organized, to agree upon things, also with your wife, because it's not. It's a team. It's really a team effort. Um, Maybe at the moment I was not sure that I really had that insights already, but looking back, it definitely is a team effort. And yeah, it is manageable with with a significant other, with a wife, with a partner. You can do it, but even if you have kids, you still can do it. But yes, it's easier if you're single and you don't have to take care of other people. But you can actually take up those engagements, those commitments as with a family as well, and that's really important for me. I really wanted to show that was possible.
We in all our interviews, I think we are asking the same question. What would be the message you would say to JCIs now, active JCIs? But I think that all this information, but you just told us about how you dealt with within a JCI. I think this is already encouraging message for all active JCIs to take and positions and go ahead and just not worry about that something is not possible. It's really encouraging.
Yeah, almost everything is possible. And there are a few things that I've learned all the way is, first of all, if you don't want to put a lot of effort into JCI, it's okay, but you get the most out of it the more the more effort you put into it. It that is something I learned. You can do it. You can't do it half and expect the full outcome. You have to go in all the way, and then you will learn a lot. It is really incredible. I could not have done what I do today without JCI. And I believe that 100%. I'm really convinced about that. But it is making tough choices and finding a way to maximize your efforts. It's yeah. It's about in poker you would go all in. There's no other way to do JCI, in my opinion, the proper way. But maybe I'm slightly extreme.
you are slightly
Amazing.
extreme, but what you have achieved also reflects and mirrors that slight extreme in a way. So
Mhm.
it definitely resonates. I mean, you're very right about it. Like part-time efforts bring part-time results. So you're right about it. We also know here that you have got a Staines Memorial Award in JCI Belgium. Can you let us
Yeah,
know more about it, please?
yeah. What the Staines Memorial Award, it always creates mixed feelings because let me tell you the story about Staines. In 1972, there was the European conference in Edinburgh, and the European delegation flew from Edinburgh via London back to Brussels, and they came safe to Heathrow, and they took the plane from Heathrow to Brussels airport. And just outside of London, in the village of Staines, they crashed. And so basically, the entire national board was on that flight, and yeah, they died. The entire um, crew and passenger list of that plane, everybody died because the plane stalled and just dropped like a brick out of the sky.
This was happening in UK when they flew off Heathrow, you mean?
Yeah. So we lost, JCI Belgium lost basically the entire national board on a single flight from the European conference back home to Belgium.
I didn't know about that. Just me learning about it now.
And it is special for me in a way that when I was national president, I went to the UK National Convention, and as national president, I flew back from Heathrow to Brussels with a similar flight. So it was like, and then you realize, okay, this is back then, and that was like I was president in 2013. So 40 years before, my predecessor died during the flight I'm about to take. And that hit hard. So that's when it comes to Staines, it's mixed feelings for me because it really connected me to the people back in 1972.
Thank you. Thank you
And
for letting us know this. I didn't know. So JCI Belgium has established this award that is
award
awarding.
for people who actually contribute on an international level and collaborate and facilitate collaboration within JCI on an international level. And I was given this award in 2014. Um, yeah, I think no, yeah, 2014, I think. Um, and it was really special for me to get that award after experienced as a national president that same thing. Um, so I'm really honored that I got the award, but at the same time, it's yeah, it's also emotional.
It's emotional and it's a reminder.
Yeah, because it happens, and it happens. Fortunately, not very frequently that JCI members die when traveling from and to JCI events, but unfortunately, every year people from our organization die um, traveling from and to events.
Yep.
Yes.
Kaya, that's a very like touching in a way. Not in a way.
Yes,
In
so
that,
it's
so
no words to say even.
me
So
too.
it's
Yeah, it's challenging for me to go
mm,
ahead with the interview, but still, like it was very important for us to touch base with this line that you gave us as a source of info prior to
Yeah.
the interview. So yeah, and yeah, Kaya, how shall we proceed with another question from your side or from my side?
um, Do you have a question? Because
I have
I
one.
think I have heard. So I'm very impressed with this interview. It's really so, and with your last story, what you just told us, I didn't know about anything like that. It's hard to say anything. Just thank you very much for your contribution to JCI and for this interview and for all your, I would say, encouraging words. I really believe that this video and this interview should be shown not just to senators who have had already positions, but also to active members to encourage them.
That are starting, that are doing some things now or about to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's JCI is really about trying to be a better you tomorrow.
That's
That,
all
that
about.
that's for me. That's for me what I try. Um, I don't pretend to be better, but I keep trying to be better. And even if it's one small step at a time, in the end you will get a great result. And that's just contributing, making a difference for other people.
Thank you.
One question I have here, as the last one from my side. You mentioned a few times your family and particularly your children during the interview. So this caught my attention, and I would like to ask you. And you also mentioned that you have taken them to a few events of JCI already. So is there one thing, not from JCI, but generally like that you are constantly striving, aiming at teaching them as a general value, and if yes, what it is?
Um, I think what I try to keep them is to have an open mind. Um, if there's one thing I've experienced in JCI is that um, we never realize how our view is only just one of many. If you go to World Congress, if you go um, to the global village, you see so many different countries. You see so many different cultures. It's and especially in Western Europe, we have a tendency to think that we know what the truth looks like. We have a tendency to think that we know what's good for everybody. And we have a tendency to think that our vision is the only possible vision, and uh, there is room for more. There's room for other visions. There is room for other cultures. And it's not threatening, it's enlightening. And that's what I really encourage them to do, is to really experience other cultures and everything every time. Think, when they're looking at a problem, what is the other angle I'm missing? And I think JCI is a great place to learn that.
Do you think they will go to join JCI, especially your eldest, who has been already in several events?
um, I would love them to do that, but I leave that up to them. I mean, it's not up to me to determine what they should do. Until a certain age it is, but when they can become a member of JCI, it's up to them. I will convince them that if they don't do it, they miss a lot of opportunities. But in the end, it's all about them choosing to engage. That's not up to me.
Very, very good. I'm really touched and I'm really happy to have you as a guest. And I'm sure the same stands for Kaya. And I
Yes,
thank you so
definitely.
much
Thank you very much.
for making the time and for
You're welcome.
sharing those words. Like we will make sure they echo at the right people at the right forums and sharing and channels. because they're very, very true, and I believe they should resonate more and more with more people. So yeah, thank you very much, Jef. Do you have a final word to say?
Thank you for giving me the opportunity after a few years of being less visible in the JCI world to give my opinion.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All the best, and I hope we meet soon somewhere around the world.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Enjoy. Bye-bye.
Bye.